Hey, welcome to the Jamaica Basketball Project. My name's Rick Turner. I'm the head coach of the Jamaica Basketball National Basketball Team, and appreciate you checking in with us and meeting, learning about the program, meeting players involved with the program, and just can't tell you enough how much we appreciate you spreading the word and letting people know about what we're doing. And we're trying to create awareness here in the States about what we're doing, and also introduce people in Jamaica to what we're doing from this end to try to make things better, ultimately with the goal being the Paris Olympics in 2024. And as we move along in this series, we'll hear more about that. But we're all dealing with coronavirus lockdown, and so this has given us an opportunity to I guess, cure some of the boredom, as well as I said before, create awareness as to what we're doing. Super excited to be talking to the young man we have on tonight. He's been a guy that I've been following for the last couple of years. Once he got on my radar, and he did a great job this year down at the University of Alabama-Birmingham. In Conference USA, and excited for you all to meet him as well. His name is Will Butler. He's from St. Catherine in Jamaica. And I got to say hi, Will. How you doing, man?
What's up? How you doing?
Thanks for doing this. Are you doing okay during all this craziness with the coronavirus, and got to stay indoors, and so at least stay to yourself a little bit more than we'd all like? How you doing? You all right?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I can't really go to the gym and stuff like I want to, but I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. That's got to be the hardest thing for guys like you that especially you're looking forward to trying to make some money at this game of basketball. So you need to be in the gym, and you want to be in the gym and finding ways of getting better and getting your name out there, and that's got to be kind of difficult right now. How are you dealing with that? Are you in touch with agents? Are you trying to contact teams? What exactly is happening from that end right now?
I already signed with an agent. He's just working right now, but he can't really do a lot because of the coronavirus and everything. So it's we just have to wait and see what happens when this is all done, But I already signed with someone and all that.
Yeah. So what has he told you? Has he said, you got a chance to talk to some NBA teams? Does he say, is a G League something that is realistic for you? Is an overseas thing a deal for you? What are the expectations he's laid out for you?
It's overseas right now. That's where I'm going. It's not no G League or NBA. I'm just gonna go overseas. So that's where I'm leaning towards right now. Because the agent I signed with, he's in France actually, so he just deal with overseas and stuff.
Yeah, cool. Well, so tell me about Will Butler, because like I said at the beginning, you kind of got onto my radar a couple of years ago, and I just thought it was really cool that you ended up at UAB, and I want to get into that in a minute, but tell me, how did it start for you, man? When did you start getting involved with basketball and deciding that it might be something you could pursue? How old were you?
I was, I think, 14.
Okay.
When he was in ninth grade, he was 14, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so I think I was 14 or 15. And that's when I started playing basketball. I used to attend Old Arbor High School.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys on the team had saw me walking down the hallway or something one day and was like, "Oh, you tall? I think you should come try for the basketball team." And I was like, "Nah." I was actually, I told him, "Yeah, I'll be there," but I just never went. I was like, "What is basketball like? Are you serious right now? I'm not gonna go." And then I think a day or two after, the coach saw me and he was like, "Oh, you think I should come?" and stuff like that. And I went. From that day, I just fell in love with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who was the coach down there? Same.
Ricardo Edwards.
Yeah. Right. This man right here.
Yeah. He got me to play. Yeah. Actually, Actually, it wasn't him at first. It was a guy named Pusey. He was a math teacher, so he was
Yeah.
the coach at first.
Yeah.
And I was there, and then they changed coach to Ricardo Edwards, and then yeah, that was it. So from that day, I just fell in love with it, and I just been going to practice ever since, and all that.
Yeah, that's cool. So did you do other sports? Did you play soccer or track or anything like that?
Growing up, I did track for a little bit in primary school and stuff. I did track. In my first year in high school, I tried it, and it was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. It's too hard. And I just stopped going to track practice and stuff. So I was just like a regular student going to school.
Yeah. So I scrolled around on your Facebook page today. I hope that's okay.
That's cool.
I saw some pictures. You were a skinny kid.
I was.
Like you filled out, man, in the last couple of years because you're a big you spent some time in the weight room.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was real little back then. I was skinny, like real little. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, how does it end up? What happens for you to get to the States? Because I know you didn't go right to UAB. You went to did you go to high school and then junior college, or how did that go?
I went to prep school in Massachusetts, Redemption Christian Academy. So that's where I went there for 2 years for prep school, and then I went to junior college in Florida, which is Pensacola State College, and I went there for 2 years, and then I went to like one summer, like my first year in junior college. That summer, I went to a showcase, and then there was like a lot of coaches and stuff, and like a lot of offers, and I went to the showcase and I got a lot of offers, but UAB was the first school to offer me, and ever since they offered me, it's like they never gave up. It's like every day they just come harder and harder. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to get me and stuff. Yeah. Which way, you got other schools that offer me, but they just like text me like once in a while or stuff like that. But UAB was just consistent and just keep coming at me and everything.
Yeah. What was your junior college experience like? Because I know for kids, there's so many kids that have dreams of playing overseas basketball, whether it's college basketball in the States or whatever. There's so many kids that want to do that, but then once it happens, maybe they're not ready for the commitment. They're not ready to be away from home. I mean, it's tough for any kid when you're leaving home for the first time, right?
Yeah.
And especially a kid that's been, in Jamaica and the change to come into the States. What was that transition like?
I mean, for me personally, it wasn't really hard because like I know growing up in Jamaica, like it's not really a lot of opportunity in Jamaica. So like me growing up with that mentality and just knowing that any opportunity comes, I'm just gonna take it to better myself and to like help my family in the future or whatever. So that wasn't really hard for me. It was like an easy decision to make because I mean that's what I wanted. I wanted an opportunity, and that's what I get. So it wasn't really scary. Yeah, at times I miss my family, but like you got to know that at the end of the day, they're the ones you're doing it for, and you're doing it to help yourself also. So it wasn't really hard for me, but for everybody, it's just different.
Yeah, yeah. So when you first got to UAB,
yeah,
were you ready for the commitment level of hoop, like at the high Division I level? I mean, it's a job in and of itself. Plus, you gotta do schoolwork and stay eligible and do all that stuff as well. Were you ready for that? How did you handle it?
I mean, I was ready for anything. I was ready for anything to come at me. I put in the work and everything. So at that point, I'm just ready to go to work at a higher level. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been working like for the past couple of years. So yeah, I was ready for it. Maybe it wasn't like the first year wasn't like I expected it, but I was like ready and say, yeah, this is what I want. I just got to keep working and go get it. But I was ready because I've been putting the work for it and stuff. So I was just like waiting to like get there and just keep going.
I think it's always kind of interesting. It doesn't even have to just be basketball players, but whatever you're doing in your life at the time, and you have some success at it, there's that moment when you kind of realize that I'm good at this. Like, can you remember when that was for you? Can you remember a time, whether it was in Jamaica or whether it was at junior college, where you're like, you know what, man, I'm a good basketball player.
I think it really hits me when I was in junior college, like my second year in junior college. I was like, I'm really good. Like, I'm really, like, this could be a job for me one day. Like, this is fun. This is nice. I love it. Like I'm really good at this. Like, and not make it like something permanent, you know?
Yeah, and that's almost self-motivating, right? Because when you're beating your head and you're not having success and you're doing things and it's not, and you have nothing to show for it, there's a tendency to get frustrated. But the great players, you know, when they realize, I'm good, they kind of take it up a notch.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you have to. You can't stay like one place every day. You know what I'm saying? You got to get better and better every day. Because, like, you know, someone's out there working just as hard as you, if not harder, want the same thing you want. So you can't stay at the same place every day. You gotta move up, you know, because it's a lot of people that want the same spot you want, the same spot you fighting for. There's a lot of people that want it. So the only thing gonna put you in that spot is if you work hard, and every day, you know what I'm saying, you got to work harder than everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
You're motivated.
Yeah. So here, I got a question from Coach Edwards, who pops on, and he says, "Hey, ask him about the barefoot video."
You know, that's when I was in Jamaica. You know, I didn't have no basketball shoes, and I was in practice dunking in barefoot and stuff, and like on concrete. that was tough.
Yeah,
I didn't have no shoes that practice, man. I was just, you know, but
I've told the story before. By the way, I just want to say I went to an Old Harbor game a few months ago. The time runs together. It must have been last fall or something. I saw Coach Edwards on the sidelines.
Yeah,
he does a really good job with his kids down there, and he's a really good coach. And
he's a great coach.
I just, you know, a shout out to him and big up to him, because he does a good job with the kids down there. But you know, I've told this story before. I went down and did a little clinic at oh gosh, what am I trying to think of? Back to Majesty Gardens. Yeah, and a bunch of the kids showed up barefoot.
Yeah, most kids don't have a basketball shoes.
Broken glass.
Yeah. Yeah, most kids don't. Most kids in Jamaica don't have a basketball shoes, but they're gonna show up. If it's barefoot, they're gonna still be there. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And that's
so I had brought this up to Warren Williams. Do you know Warren at all over in Manhattan?
Yes, I know him.
Yeah. Okay. So I brought this up to him the other day. I was watching Sports Center, and they did, you know, they have nothing to show now. So all they do is the top 10, whatever, top 10 fill in the blank. So they were doing the top 10 most disrespectful dunks, which I thought was kind of cool. And it made me wonder, do you remember the time you just banged on somebody in the worst way and just embarrass them? Can you remember that first time you did that on somebody?
I did that quite a lot, so I can't really remember.
So they all kind of run together, right?
Yeah, I'm like really like a hard dunker. So when I dunk, it's like, you know, like it's there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all of them is like the same basically. Because I dunk real hard. I make my presence, you know, like, you know, I'm here. Like, you know, like, so every time I dunk, like, I'm here.
Yeah, absolutely, somebody's gonna feel it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's a time, and, you know, and someone who's been around Jamaica basketball longer than me and you would know this, but I can't remember a time where there was 5 Jamaicans playing high-level Division I college basketball at the same time. And between you and Warren and Nick and Kofi and Gil, that's a pretty good group of guys playing at a pretty high level. Do you know all of them? Do you keep in touch with any of them, or how's the relationship between the 5 of you? I mean, I don't expect that you would know all of them, but, you know, is there any kind of relationship? And and I know you played Nick this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played against. I mean, we never really talked or anything. You know, like I don't really know those guys. I only know the only one I know is Warren. That's the only one I really know. I don't know anybody else out of all of those guys. But I heard about him. Like the only one I've talked to is Warren, because I've lived in the same house with Warren at one point, so I know Warren like real good. But the other guys I don't know. I just played against Nick one time, and we never talked.
Do you follow what those guys are doing? I mean, I would imagine just as Jamaican, you're rooting for those guys to have success.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're from the same country. You know, if they're successful, the whole country's successful. So yeah, but I follow what they do. I mean, I may not follow them on social media, but like I see stuff. I root for them all the time. You know, like if I see something and I'm around my teammates or my friends, I'll be like, yo, he's Jamaican or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be successful just like I want myself to be. So
yeah, that's cool. So UAB, you guys had a pretty decent season. You had a good year, 8 points, 5 rebounds a game. Talk about your experience at UAB. You think you made the right choice?
I mean, any choice I make in my life, I never regret it. You know, you just got to learn from it if it's a bad one. But UAB was a great choice for me, you know. It's not a bad decision. It was like probably one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. Like, I love it. My experience at UAB was great. My first year, I didn't really play a lot. And during like conference and stuff, I tore my ACL. I don't know if you know that. But I was out for the. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I lost you for a second, but I think I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, like on my first year, you know, I got injured. Like I tore my ACL my first year, and for the second part of the season, I was out, and that was tough for me. Like that messed with my mental and everything. Like I had to like be strong and everything. Like that was probably one of the worst things that ever happened to me.
Yeah, and you had surgery done, or did you just let it repair? Did it repair on its own, or?
No, I did surgery. Like I did it. Say I did it. I tore it today. I had surgery like on Sunday.
Okay. Yeah.
So I had surgery 2 days after.
Yeah.
And that was terrible. But it also made me who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes me not like take anything for granted and stuff, because it could take away from you just like that.
Well, did you have a little scare with that this year? Because I know you went out. I can't remember, was it the Louisiana game or something like that?
Yeah, I had in the first part of the season, like I was scared. I didn't want to like dunk or nothing. I just wanted to keep it safe. The Louisiana game, like I kind of like twist my leg a little bit, and it kind of like jerked my knee, and it was hurting for a while, and that kind of scares me a lot. So I was like, yeah, that. I didn't want to play after that. I didn't want to play the rest of the game because it was still hurting, and I didn't want to like force it and stuff.
Oh, sure.
So I was like, yeah, that's it. That's it for that game. I gotta like rehab it and make sure it's feeling good for practice and stuff in the next game coming up.
Well, the cruddy thing is, it seemed like you guys were coming on at the end of the season too. Like you'd won your first tournament game. You had teams in front of you that you had beaten already this year.
Yeah.
Like it might have been a shot at the tournament.
I was looking forward to it. I was feeling good about the team. I feel like we would have made like a lot of noise in the tournament. I think we could have possibly win the tournament if this didn't happen.
Yeah. So I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable position. I don't know anything about this, but your coach ends up getting fired right after the season is over.
Yeah.
And it seemed as if he had a pretty good run at UAB. I don't know him, and I just go by what I read, but that's part of the game, I guess, right?
That's the business side. I'm not gonna get in that. I'm not gonna get in that. You know.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you, but that's tough. Anytime you know that's a guy's family and his livelihood. So And I'm sure over the course of the last couple of years, you guys built a relationship. So
yeah, but because I saw him earlier today. Like I went and saw him earlier today. So yeah, we still doing everything.
Yeah, good. So, is there many Jamaicans in Birmingham? Are you able to get any Jamaica food, like authentic Jamaican food, cooked for you anywhere? Or
I'll make my own Jamaican food. I'll make like brown stew chicken and stuff like that. There's no restaurants where I can go and get it. I just have to do it on my own.
Yeah. Is there much of a population there, though? Is there any Jamaica background so much in that area, or not so much?
No, not that I know. I think I only know one Jamaican person that comes to my school, and that's about it. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of Jamaicans around here.
Yeah. What have you been watching The Last Dance?
I watched the first episode and I didn't watch it anymore.
That's it. What, too boring for you, or what's going on? You're so busy.
It's just not my. It's just not my swing. You know, like that's not my favorite player. So
yeah,
you know.
I got to weigh in now. Who is your favorite player?
LeBron.
Okay. Coach Rowan Robinson will like to hear that. I know that.
Yeah, LeBron is that guy. You know, LeBron is that guy.
Who were there Jamaican players that were on your radar when you were growing up that you looked at and looked up to, or was that really not on your radar back in the day?
That wasn't on my radar. Before I started playing basketball, I didn't know what is basketball. I ain't know nothing about it like that. So I didn't really follow nobody like that.
So did you follow the NBA then, or who are your NBA guys?
Not back then. I started following the NBA when I first got up here, like say in the middle of my first year. That's when I started following it and stuff.
Yeah.
I fell in love with LeBron's game. I like Paul George. I like KD. I like all those guys.
What do you think? What NBA player do you think your game compares to?
I don't know. Probably like Kenneth Farid or something like that.
Yeah. I'm
like around the basket guy. I'm not really like too much. I don't do too much. I mean, if it's simple and I can get it in there and I could rebound, I stick with that. You know what I'm saying? I just stay with the simple stuff that's gonna get us a win. Yeah. I'm not like a flashy guy or whatever, but I'm gonna get you a win. I'm gonna go get you a bucket if that's what you want.
Yeah. I know you're one of the top guys in the country in field goal percentage.
Yeah.
So what that tells me is that you're someone that definitely knows how to finish around the basket.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
What about coaches there in Alabama that have been influential on making you a better player, assistants, or maybe not even in Alabama, just somewhere along the way that you look at as guys that really helped your game grow?
Well, I got to start off with, Coach Ricardo Edwards and Pusey. From where it started, that's the foundation right there. And then my prep school coach, Tristan, Mr. Tristan, he helps me a lot. And my JUCO coach, Coach Penna, Justin Wright, every coach I had coming up really helped me. They always put in the time with me and make sure I get everything right. So they invest time in me. So I make sure I don't waste it and I don't take it for granted. I take everything out of it that I can. And also all my UAB coaches like Coach Jackson and stuff, Isan, all those guys, they really helped me a lot.
Yeah. So guys like you, I don't know whether you realize it or not, or whether it's become apparent in your life, but guys like you're what, 23 years old?
Yes.
22? Yeah, 23 years old. So guys like you, and if we're able to get the Jamaica basketball program to the place where we want it to go, which I'm confident we will, young guys are looking up to guys like you. I asked you a few minutes ago, who are the Jamaican guys you looked up to, and it wasn't like that back then for you.
Yeah.
But it is, and it will be like that for kids. So what sort of advice do you have for kids that are looking to get better, but just don't really know how they can do it on their own without having to rely on, getting a scholarship overseas or whatever. What kind of advice would you give kids to put them in a position to have the same sort of success as you?
So for number one, like you got to believe in yourself from the jump. You got to believe that you can do anything. You got to believe that whatever you do, you're gonna be good at it. That's for one. You gotta put in the work also. You can't just like sit at your house and say, oh, I don't have this or nothing. You can make it work. If it's something you really want to do, like you're gonna make it work regardless of what you have. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta believe in yourself, you gotta put in the work, and you gotta surround yourself by people that believe in you and willing to push you as well.
What about the school end of it? Because if you didn't have your grades together, you would never be able to
Oh
play.
yeah.
If you
Yeah,
if you
that's
didn't have the ability to get the schoolwork done, you would never be able to get through 4 years of college as you've done.
well, yeah.
Did you get a good background there, or was that kind of learned on your own because you had to?
No, that's kind of just me because I know I had to do it. You gotta. That's an important part of like everything you're doing. Because like over here, if you don't have like a certain GPA, you can't play at all. You know what I'm saying? And schoolwork always comes first before basketball because after basketball, you're gonna need it. And what you gonna turn to if you don't have it? You know what I'm saying? You got to get that degree or you got to get that diploma or whatever it is. So like that's first, and you got to invest in the classroom. You got to invest time in that, in your books and everything, because that's number one. So after that, then you have the basketball, believe in yourself and everything. So most definitely, your schoolwork has to come first.
I touched on this a little bit before, and I'll let you go here in just a couple minutes, just a couple more questions. But and if anyone has any questions for Will, feel free to fire him, and I'll fire him at him. But I looked on your Facebook page, and you were a skinny guy. And one of the things that's so important that I don't think younger kids in Jamaica are getting right now is that weight training. And I don't know whether you just filled out and got big or whether you spent a lot of time in the weight room. I'm assuming that you spent a lot of time in the weight room, and just talk about the importance of that and getting stronger and being able to compete, physically, because that's super important.
So at every level, like when you start at high school, like you gotta be like strong and stuff. Like when I was in prep school, I wasn't big. I never lift weights. I never lift weights until I get to JUCO. That's the first time I lift weights. And each level you get, it's the stronger you gotta get because everybody's just getting bigger and everybody's faster and everything. So at each level, that's when you gotta like put in more and more work. So from say you're in high school, when you get to junior college or wherever, you gotta like put in like the workload gotta be like up here. Cause like everybody's up there is big, ain't nobody small. So you gotta kind of like put in the work to fit in, you know what I'm saying?
Hold on, Will, was that something that you learned on your own, or were you pushed by a coach? Did they make you get in that weight room and you just took to it, or was that something like the light bulb went off and you realized if I'm going to compete the way I want to compete, I got to get stronger? How did that happen?
That's not on me. That's on my junior college coaches. Like they started pushing me to do it, and then I realized that like that's what I got to do to be where I want to be. If I don't like hit the weight room or do all that stuff, then I'm not going to get where I want to be. So I just bought into that, and then like it started feeling for itself. I don't regret it at all.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Here's a question for you. Will come back as a coach at Old Harbor? You ever go back and see your school and check in with everybody down there?
The last summer I went to Jamaica, and I actually went to Old Harbor High School. Like the coach had practice, and I went there for a little bit, and I was like putting the guys to a little drill and stuff. But yeah, that's about it. I don't really go into coaching stuff, I don't think I have the patience for it.
You got too much playing in front of you right now.
Yeah.
You got some money to make. You got a lot a lot of adventures to have, and we'll put coaching off for fat old guys like me.
Maybe in the future I'll think about it, but for now I'm focused on making money for myself.
Yeah, for sure. Part of that though is just the importance of giving back, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, okay, I'll let you go here in a second. When you go back to Jamaica, what are you looking forward to most when you go back there? Is it mom's cooking, or is it seeing family, or what's the first thing you're thinking about when you step off the plane?
Oh yeah, mom's cooking for sure. I miss that.
What's her specialty? Tell me about it.
I mean, it's whatever she cooked. She got that magic hands in the kitchen. So whatever she cooked, it's gonna be good, man. So it's definitely mom's cooking, and then just being there with my family, spending time with them, because like over the past years I haven't really like spent a lot of time with them and everything. So most definitely like spend a lot of time with them, like talk to them and stuff like that. So that's where it is.
So I don't know whether it was ever a dream growing up. It sounds probably the way that you've described your basketball journey to me, it probably never even entered your mind. But the idea of representing Jamaica in the Olympics or in the FIBA World Cup, what would something like that mean to you? What would it be to put on a Jamaican uniform and represent your country in front of the world?
That would mean a lot to me, that I can represent my country and show my skills and stuff. And that would also like make my family proud, show them that every work that I've been put in, it's not for nothing, you know what I'm saying? Everything is just paying off. So that would mean a lot to me. That would mean so much to like, and that's also like saying giving back to my country, you know what I'm saying? Like playing for them and everything, giving them my blood, sweat, and tears and everything in the game, in one of those uniforms. It would be like a dream come true for real.
Cool. Well, let's make that a reality, right? Lots of heavy lifting and lots of people involved to make that happen. I'm really, really glad that you're doing well and staying safe. And I congratulate you on a really good college career and off to bigger and better things as a professional basketball player. I know everyone in Jamaica that follows you are really proud of you. And I am as well, just watching you from across the country in Seattle, where I am. And I wish you nothing but great success moving forward. And hopefully our paths cross very soon again.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. Thank you so much.
Will, thanks for doing this, man.
Yes, sir.
Let's stay in touch.
Okay, no problem. Thank
you.
All right,
bud. See you later.
All right.
All right, Will Butler, good dude over at UAB. What is going on here? God, look at the gray hair. RT needs to get to the barber. Anyway, thanks for Will for doing that, and thank you for checking this out and being a part of it and weighing in with your comments and questions. We'll keep doing this moving forward and talking to more players and talking to more people involved with the program, and pretty soon we'll get out of this lockdown and we'll be able to move ahead with this thing in a real way. So thanks again for doing it. We'll probably see you again on Monday, and until then, I hesitate to use the word stay safe like everyone else says, but hope you guys do that, and we'll see you on Monday.